It's on now. Don't know if anybody's in the house yet. Hello, Sammy Jane. How are you? It's good to have you on here. Angela Hewitt's here as well. Seem to have all manners of phones and computers and things just being completely weird to how they normally are today. So I think perfect night to do the whole doing a spooky, like a spirit watch night. What do you reckon, guys? Give me a hands up if you think that. Thumbs up if you think that tonight is going to be a good night for that. I've had the computer shut off from me. I've had my phone just mysteriously die when it had like plenty of energy in there, plenty of juice in there. Norma, I am feeling great today, sweetheart. It is gorgeous outside. It's Good Friday. We've got Easter and Sunday. I'm an April birthday anyway. I'm the end of April. And I just always feel that when it comes to springtime, I just feel like much more alive in myself. Is anybody else out there the same thing? Got myself in a different chair today because I was getting really bad back pains and a shooting pain down the leg, you know, when I was sitting in the other one. So as lovely as it is, it's just not great for sitting in any length of time. Yvonne Kerry, third time flaming lucky. Absolutely. Who would have thought that saying was actually going to pay off? Okay, Ruth is in the house today. Hello, Ruth. How are you? And Dulce, if I pronounced it properly, has joined us from YouTube. Good morning, Lara. Good morning, Dulce. Whereabouts are you, sweetheart? Tell us where you are. Because we'd love to know. I think it's still morning there because it's actually nearly 4:20 here. God, it'll be time to put the dinner on before you know it. So I'm trying to sneak this in before he comes out of the room and says, oh, dinner time type thing. And then we can have dinner, a couple of hours, and then we could get ready for this ghost watch. He's trying to get me to have a glass of wine as well this evening, guys. So if I sound a bit slurry at the time, you know I've probably had 2 glasses of wine. But I'll let you know at the time. Do two types of spirits actually work? But it's not really a spirit effectively, is it? It's a glass of wine. But as he said, we haven't had a glass of wine for a few weeks, so apparently we are tonight. So let's see how it goes. Mary McWhirters now. Afternoon, Lara. Hope you're well. And did you get an Easter egg? Any chance of card today? I didn't actually. Do you know that? And you just, I think with us being in lockdown, we're just forgetting about what's going on out here, aren't we? And that it's actually Easter. We've probably all just whitewashed Easter because let me tell you, the family and I, right, we're quite, because there's 4 boys in the family, right, I've kind of had to be more of a kind of physical mum, and I think I've rebelled against that over the years. But once a month, each of us take a turn to choose about what activity the family does. So I'd chosen go-karting this month, people, for my birthday, would you believe? I'm coming 51, go-karting. All right. And what's more, I'm going to be really competitive. I just know it. Okay. And I won't be happy if I don't win. So my sons will have to make me win. But basically we do this once a month, or that's what we were planning to do. All right. We went for a meal last month. And we were all so looking forward to it, but look what's happened. So, guys, we're in the house here. Puja on our virtual praise at 5. Okay, Puja, great. Okay, I'll try and let you get away before the virtual praise, which is good. I'm mindful of that since the other day. What does it say? S1. Wow, you don't look like it. Yeah. 51. I'm 51. I thought you said S1. God, I need to go to Specsavers. Guys, if you're on there watching, there's a few of you watching. If you're on Facebook, please like and follow, right, my page, my Lara Wells Live page. Then I can see your comments easier as well and get back to you. Not just that if you share into groups, share and have watch parties with your friends, share to people that maybe you feel would benefit type thing. But the more you share, the more interactive, the more you message as well here, the more interactive it is. Mr. Facebook loves that. Joe Tibbs is in the house. Joe, how are you? Sweetheart. I do think about you every now and again, Joe, and you're probably overdue a consultation anyway. So it's great to see you on here. Are you still doing your thing with the makeup and stuff? All right, so it'd be good to, maybe I could come into your groups with the makeup and do a couple of lives, you know, with the readings and stuff and help lift people in there as well, Joe. But it's great to have you on here. I am shuffling my cards. So I am. So just to let you know, I'm giving We've got Brandy Hoskins as well in the house. Good to have you on here. If you're on YouTube, please hit subscribe if you haven't done already. And please leave a comment or two as well. I will get back to you later on. Okay, Norma is in the house and Teresa Torres is also in the house too. It's good to have you on here. So it is. Righty-ho. Who's all cool for a spirit watch later on? If you are, give me the hands up. All right. So I know that I'm not going to be sitting in the dark on my own like a plonker. Okay, then. I've got these cards. Joe saying, good, thanks. Yes, I am. I'm loving it. That would be amazing. I'm going to share you into my group. Now, it's fantastic, Joe. At least that way they'll get to see who it is. Now, come on. And then one night we could do a live in your group. Like I could do a couple of readings and do a little special thing there. Just spreading the love. Susan Milsom, loads of crystal balls there, darling. You have remembered my passion for the colour purple. So Susan, a couple of cards here for you. Financially, things seem to be weighing quite heavily on you here, particularly the responsibility in the home, in the house. And it says about getting your home and house into order. I'm feeling a bit achy in my legs. I'm not sure whether that's to do with you, but I also have a woman in spirit that's come through now, and she's complaining about her legs too, and the fact that she feels heavy on her chest, She's worrying about you. And I know we're in a pandemic at the moment, as you know, and but she's worrying about your chest, Susan, as well. I'm picking an extra cards here as well, and Mars, and we were talking, where we're not in the broadcast, about Mars being in Aquarius at the beginning of the week, because we're building up, stripping away, awakening everybody, awakening people, awakening for the age of Aquarius. Finally, I've only been talking about it for like 25 years, by the way, finally happening at the end of the year, the dawning of a new age. The dawning is a new awakening. It's a new way of thinking. It's like your mind's taking on extra knowledge that you never thought would be possible, before, and upgrading and learning new health as well, learning to let go of the whole physical aspect of retaining all that negative energy and stuff in your body, so that it makes your body feel at dis-ease with itself. So Susan, I have to say, joints, muscles, get the cod liver oil into you, sweetheart, and maybe refrain from having too much acid in your diet. And it's funny how that can just creep in anyway. Vinegar, all right, certain vegetables and fruits can be very acidic for you as well. But it looks like that where the joints are concerned, are just kind of feeling a bit, so stress is affecting you that way. Okie dokie. Marta, I would love a card, please. I am very upsetting. Oh, I'm so sorry, Marta, that it's been upsetting. Let me pick your card. Pop your name in the Heal the World group as well, Marta, and we'll put the word out there and put you on the prayer, and I'll pop you in my healing list as well. All right. It says here about a house move. It says here about, there is certain strength in seeing all, hear all, and say nothing. All right. And for you, this is your strength, your value. It's taking everything in. There is such a thing as divine timing, Marta. And even though you're fighting tooth and nail for the certain aspect of your life and making adjustments, you're making changes, this is probably one of the most significant and massive changes of your life. And it's learning to navigate through those changes that is being a bit of an issue here. So it says that what goes around comes around, right? Karma will make a call. It doesn't leave anybody out whatsoever. And here we've got that house move, the redecoration with the property, the selling the property, and moving on to a new chapter. So it's about Marta being proactive, getting up, looking at getting assessments done in the house, like a survey or a valuation, that's the word, a valuation done in the house, and look at proactively moving it forward that way. So I hope you got that. Darshika's here. Hello, Darshika. And we've got Puja. Puja, let me pick a couple of cards for you here, sweetheart. All right, because I know that you've got to get off the prayer thing there as well. All right. I always get confused. So Darshika is Aunt Puja's nan. So that's your aunt, right? So Puja's nan and your mum were sisters. Is that right, Darshika? I am really, really crap so much. Oh, that's amazing. I love you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love you, and I love you being on here. all right, which is amazing. Thank you so much for calling in here. Please like, share, like and follow my page, right, so I can see your comments. And also please share the group, share, have watch parties, share to friends that you think will benefit from it. The more you share, the more activity, right, and movement, and Facebook loves that. Right, okay, so Puja, a couple of cards here for you, sweetheart. Haven't forgotten about you. Bear with me. It's just a case of finding the flow there for you, and over-focusing and wondering about life at home. You know, home life changing. It's feeling painful where you are, and I'm so sorry to hear about your wonderful Nan. I do feel Nan with me, and I do feel Mum with me as well, and there's just that very sort of camera. There's actually 3 women over there. Can I just say that? So I want to say Mum, aunt, grandmother. That's what I want to say. Okay, and I don't know whether that's because there's maybe different members of family. I know there's a couple of you anyway, but there's like 3 or 4 of you we have prayers in Zoom at 5, says Darshika. There's Darshika there. 3 or 4 of you that appear on my page, and so I lose track because it happens so quickly. I lose track after a while. But here it's about you're watering your garden right at the moment, just nourishing yourself, keeping yourself going. It's only been a couple of days. I have to say, where Nan's concerned, I feel that she is at peace. I feel that she's actually where she wants to be. She's missing you all dreadfully. She loves the gossip, but I feel that it's connecting the mind to the speech, and I feel that if she can't share how she felt. Oh, Puja said there are 3 ladies. That's good. Thank you so much for letting me know, Puja. If she can't share how she felt, communicate that, I feel that she was a bit disconnected from life when she was in the physical here, right? And so over there, I feel that it's where she wants to be. She misses everybody. She's missed everybody. She's prayed, right, to allow easy access. I do feel that she did have disease in her body. I do feel that it's that conflict, right? Because disease and being not it, we all have conflict within us, guys, right? We do. We have the North Pole, the South Pole, and then we've got the bit in the middle, right? We all have the conflict, you know, where you think, shall I do that or shall I do that? Shall I do it this way? Shall I do it that way? It always seems to be that there's only 2 options to ever choose from. But what if both those options were okay? What if both those options, or, you know, it was none of those and there was actually the bit in the middle? Then great. But often the conflict happens because it's been, you know, that North Pole and South Pole has been stretched too far and the conflict gets too great. And then we end up floating around in that dark night of the soul part, don't we? And I feel, Puja, that very much energetically that you feel that, and the way forward is to understand that the old part of your life doesn't exist anymore, sweetheart. That's why it feels so bad. It's like somebody's cut off an arm and a leg. It's about going forward on a new path, right? You can't grow a new arm or leg, but you can adapt to what you've got and start to build a new future. It's really to do with the head of the family, all right? It's to do with being that matriarch figure, you know, as well. And I feel that nobody wants to step up to the plate here, or the family are maybe, fragmented, right? The family are maybe feeling a bit fragmented anyway, and nobody's got a sense of gauge or, I suppose, that meditation point, that tranquil point. Do you get me? So I hope you have got that. I'll miss her dearly. Our phone called. You phone called every evening. Absolutely. She loved the communication, Puja. She loves the communication. That's, you know, that she gets to talk about things. And at the moment, she's still adjusting to over there. Please keep sharing, guys. Keep these comments going here, right? And the more you share, the more I'm going to see your name, and the more that I'm able to pick you out and do a little free reading right here, right now. Okay. And yep. So Puja, I feel that I want to go for the kind of lavendery, purpley colour as well. I feel like that kind of silk. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's something to do with some material used for something, to do with your mum is helping her, Puja. Sorry, I just saw your comment come in. Your mum very much is helping her. And now you understand why mum had to go beforehand, because mum wanted to be there for Nan. Often it doesn't make sense in this type of things. It's having to shift your mind into that other realm, that other world, that spirit realm, right, that is over the other side, which exists. We all exist in the same space. It's just that we're in this physical reality. So keep sharing, guys. Keep hitting the like and follow button on the page if you haven't done already. Thank you so much, Sharon, for saying that. Sharon said that was a lovely message, so that's great. Hello, Crystal Evans, you're in the house, and I'm sure I saw Cheryl Chappelle as well. I thought I saw your name going up there because I felt your name was in my mind this morning as well, so I'm going to pick a couple of cards for you. I'm glad that you're on here, and I think it's quite good because building up this community here and on YouTube, right, and on my other pages as well, on Instagram. I was on Instagram earlier on, so I finally bit the bullet and did a second one with the young Piper Jane that comes on this page as well. And I've got to say that in the community, because we get more familiar energetically, it means that things start to pop into my mind. People start to pop into my mind. If I feel that there's something that I've got to try and say, well, look, maybe you're due a reading, or yep, or perhaps there's something afoot type thing. But Cheryl, I have got this new moon, new beginning, that you just try to put a brave face on the situation, sweetheart, and things will be, there's more than that too. You don't need to be brave all the time. Sometimes we get tired of being a warrior, all right? Sometimes we just want to take that warrior, armor off, put the sword down, put the shield down, and just get into bed with a hot water bottle, fluffy blanket, and a cup of tea. And I feel that, Cheryl, very much for you, that you're like that, but actually there lies something deeper underneath, and scratch the surface type thing. And this surface is kind of flaking off a little bit. So I do feel that there's a woman over the other side, a very strong motherly feeling about this woman as well. There's a male energy, a younger male energy that's over there with her. And I do feel that people need to be connected in the family, she said. People need to keep on communicating and connect with each other. She's worried that everything just kind of goes by the wayside. And I feel that it looks like this event happened. She's talking about an event where it was like a shock here one minute, gone the next. So I feel that where the past is concerned, it was about passing over suddenly. I feel that the transition was, I don't feel ready for this yet. I really don't feel ready for this yet. And I know that's coming from her. Okay. Your cards are on about balance at the moment, Cheryl, and about love. And we've had that full moon in Libra at the moment. So it's about balance. Get your inner balance first yourself, sweetheart. Get that inner balance going, and then the outer balance will actually follow suit, because everything around us is magnifying from us within. All right. As within, so without. All right, Chelsea, I hope you got that. Crystal Evans, I am in the house, Lara. You are, Crystal. Let's pick a couple of cards for you as well. Good to see you on here. Please like and follow my Lara Wells Live page, guys, and so I can see your comments for a start, but also keep sharing. Share into groups, share into have watch parties, keep the energy up here, keep the momentum up here. And then we all can benefit from that, because it's like a rhythm. It really is like a rhythm. So the more energy, more people viewing that we get in here, the more comments that go, the more shares, I feel that generation of energy, and the more that I can successfully connect with people. So Crystal, happy Easter to you as well, my darling. Let's say happy Easter to everybody, guys. Say happy Easter to each and every one of you that are there. All right, but Easter is a time of celebration. It's a time of newness. It's a time of being uplifted. It's a time of new beginnings as well. So we've got the star card here, Crystal. All right, love that name, Crystal, by the way. All right, really love that. And I think Crystal is magnifying all types of energy, isn't it? I wonder if you were a crystal, if it were a name, if you were a crystal, which one would you choose? There's a question. Fantastic cards. It says about making money from something that you're passionate about, and just who gives a shit what other people think, right? This is your life, Crystal. I feel that it's been controlled far too long by other people. And this is like you breaking free. You're stepping out of that control factor. You're stepping out from that which you have known to feel entrapped with. So I feel it's like a liberation of you. Does that make sense? A liberation and a freedom of spirit there. And then the next part is like a baby taking new steps. You're learning to walk on these steps. Your grandmother over the other side has stepped forward and said that, she always, your grand's got a backbone of iron, so she has. She wouldn't really chicken out much of anything, I've got to say, but she reckoned that she was born ahead of her time, that when she spoke about stuff, sometimes people would look at her like as if she had three heads. But she's glad to see that you're carrying the mantle, Crystal. Okie dokie. So thanks for calling in, and please keep here, keep building the energy up, share as much as you can. And, you know, those, even though we just do little bits of readings here, guys, I'm doing this to uplift you all, to give you insight, to empower you and give you confidence and to grow that amazing energy and vortex, you know, that you're in. But like doing actual time, dedicated time in the way of a one-on-one reading virtually is also really good as well. We can get to the heart of things too. All right, it's been really busy with readings this week, I've got to say, but I've still got a few spots left for next week. All right, so I would maybe message me sooner rather than later. Norma, darling, how are you today? You were having a bit of a rough day yesterday, weren't you? Let's pick a couple of cards for you, Norma, and see what's happening. All right, couple of cards here. So I feel it's a bit more one step back and, you know, half a step forward at the moment, Norma. So it's a bit like disconnecting from that flow, because I feel that you're just a bit fragile, sweetheart. Is it what's going on round about you? Maybe people are causing unnecessary stress for you. I feel like I want to talk about your legs and your veins, by the way. You've been getting pains in your legs, perhaps. This is definitely a time for you not to get up and do too much at the moment, Norma. It's just to take it down a few notches, go within, go maybe do your art, because you do some amazing art. I've seen a lot of your art, Norma, and I think that you're very, very talented that way. But take it in and get it out on that paper, all right? Because we'd all love to see the next creation, the next Norma creation. Your grandmother was a feisty woman, I've got to say. Didn't take any prisoners. I'm going to Mum's mum, I believe, here, who has brought Mum in as well. So you're getting a lot of healing on that other side. They said they've been worried about James, and they're also worried about, is there something called Billy? Worried about Billy, which I think is short for William, isn't it? I know you've got a lot of W-sounding names in the family, but it sounded like Billy to me. So I hope you got that, Norma. You're amazing. Please know that, right? Sharon Stewart was saying she was practicing belly dancing for the first time. Sharon, amazing. It helps to really move your energy, doesn't it, up through your chakras. It frees that energy and flows with it, you know, within the body, and good to connect to your higher consciousness. So a big high five to Sharon Stewart, everybody, because she is doing amazing. Joe, let's pick a couple of cards for you here. It looks like you've been sharing. I want to shuffle these cards again. So keep sharing to groups, have watch parties. Really, really appreciate you doing that. The people that share the most will get selected. Like I'll be drawn to a name of the top sharers here and pick a couple of cards for you. And if Spirit happened to pop in at the same time, all the better. So let's just have a look here, Joe, at what's going on. Joe, we've got a couple of cards here. Worried about a younger male member of family, possibly a son that's mentioned here. And I feel like you've kind of been in the receiving end or the victim. Not that we want to go into the victim energy, just kind of put you in the back hoof again. Because what you want out of life, and apparently what other people seem to want, you could be talking Swahili to them, are two totally different things. You've got a lot of love to give, girl. It just needs to be reciprocated in the way that you need it. But instead of aiming for the relationship, right, love is what you aim for, and the relationship comes off the back of that. So the minute you disperse that, it has to be somebody specific. It has to be somebody that fits a checklist. It has to be somebody that you've compiled in your mind that's probably been fed to you over many, many years, you know, from social media, you know, from watching TV, from listening to radio, you know, that sort of thing, about expectations of what the ideal partner is, but expectations of what your ideal partner is. And often the proper one is the complete opposite of that. So Joe, I'm saying that it's the discard and the template of what the perception is of what you regard as being real for you, you regard as being something that is appropriate to have in your life, right? So the same, like a certain color hair, you know, that sort of thing, certain color eyes, or they've got to be this, that, and the other. Aim for love, and the relationship naturally it's meant for you will come up in that vibration, which is there. Okay, we've also got, I want to talk about to do with the female area. I've also want to talk about energy levels as well. And I feel that the system is maybe a little bit acidic, and you're maybe physically feeling the effects of that. So it's aches and pains and stiffness, and that low vibrational feeling will probably add to that. So I hope you got that, Joe. Thank you so much for sharing it and for coming on here. Annette Newton, you've just come up, your name as well. But, you know, tell me, how is your day gone? You feel the sun's going down here at this end now. It's probably going to get a bit, hang on, I'm going to put this light on because it suddenly felt like it could get a bit darker. Here we go. Here we go. Let's get the, it's a net, isn't it? I'm thinking terrible. I try and make sure that my thing is on these. Okie dokie dokie. Couple of cards here for you, Annette. Okay, so a big hello to Jenny, who's from YouTube as well. Hello, Jenny, a new subscriber. Okay, I'm going to pick a couple of cards for you just in a minute. But at the moment, we've got Annette's cards here. And Annette, I've got there's a male and a female in spirit. I've got a strong mum and fatherly feeling about the other guy. About the other guy, because the female's not a guy, is she? But we've also picked a couple of cards here for you as well. And it looks like you've been kind of pinned down by circumstances, pinned down by what life's been throwing at you. Pinned down. All right, mum's mum was Christina. That's lovely. Pinned down, all right, by health stuff, what society's kind of thrown at you a little bit. And I feel a bit kind of hemmed in by the circumstances. I feel that being allowed to be the creative you is probably the way to go. Being allowed to be the real you. And I think that's maybe something useful. And it's about learning who you really are as a person. Not somebody's wife, somebody's mother, somebody's aunt, somebody's daughter. It's about being you. So maybe feeling a little bit lost. There's a couple of new opportunities coming up very shortly that will improve things drastically. I'm being told by mum over the other side to tell you about something to do with extra acid in the stomach as well. And she also is talking about the back, the lower back and the bowel area too. I have a feeling that she had similar issues prior to her health declining and going downhill later on. She says not to worry so much about what everybody else is doing, but just keep your energy to yourself. I feel like I want to go in this glass door, like there's a glass door between the hall and the sitting room. Like it reminds me of something like out the 1970s type thing, 1980s. It's quite an old-fashioned looking sitting room. But it's got a coal, what looks like a coal fire. You know, you don't often get them. I've got one here, but a coal fire there as well, where I feel that I want to go back to the comforts of the good old days. I can hear her clattering around in the kitchen, right? Like actually no dishwasher there, actually washing and plugging the kettle on, putting the kettle on and saying about the tea leaves. All right, I'm wondering whether actually there's a family disposition to reading tea leaves. Okay, so Annette, I hope you got that right. Jenny, can I ask a specific question? What's the question that you want to ask, Jenny? Go for it. All right. Normally, I just try and tune in. So if you're watching from Facebook, please like and follow my page if you haven't done already. And please share to groups, have watch parties, which I'm going to appreciate. Sorry, I got sidetracked with the comments here because Sarah Louise Jackson's name came up. Okay, Jenny, message me your question, right? And I'm going to, I would love to know if my husband's baby mama is planning to move out of state. Okay, Jenny. Right, so it really is a straight yes or no question. We don't often do this. I usually say no to people asking questions here to try and, at least do yourself the honor of doing a proper reading and really go into depth of things, because sometimes there's more than what you realize. But I've got to say it's undecided at the moment. One says yes, one says no. So to me, it feels like a bit of a cop-out, honestly. But I do have a feeling that she will. I'm going to go by my instinct here, Jenny. I do think that the husband's baby mama is planning to move out of state. Of course, that could cause one set of problems, and on the other hand, it will probably be a relief. But that's probably, it sounds a little bit horrible, doesn't it, probably saying that. But really, focus on you and yours, right? At the end of the day, what she decides to do is very much down to her. The thing is, I'm feeling that she's breaching a contract somewhere. I feel like I want to say that as well. Okay then, Jenny, thank you so much. I'm glad you've subscribed. Look forward to seeing you more on these lives. And of course, I will, from next week, be posting more content of videos without them being live on YouTube too. And Sarah Louise Jackson, let's pick a couple of cards for you. Are you sharing, guys? Are you liking and following the page? I'm going to just take a little bit of... Annette Newton says, yes, you bang on. Thank you so much, Lara. You're very, very welcome. Barat is in the house. A big hello to Barat as well. We've got Brandy, Brandy Hoskins as well that's showing up, and which is fantastic. We've got Rida Jane. Have I pronounced that properly? From YouTube that's joined us as well. Right, a couple of cards here for you. Thank you for your time and comfort, people. Thank you so much, Sharon. You're very, very welcome. I really appreciate you being on here as well. So, Sarah, here we go. A couple of cards here for you. Change of direction work-wise. It's a bit like building something when you don't know what it is that you're building towards. It says about going more global, if that's any help there as well. Going more global, think in terms of virtual and travel, and maybe it's something to do with market. But I also feel that there's the real harnessing, meditation, really harnessing those energies within yourself. And I feel like I just want to step away from the situation that you are in. I feel it's time for a reinvention. Nobody does that better than you. So, time for a reinvention to reveal who you truly are. Right, the mask coming off is being who you want to be rather than what's expected of you, sweetheart. I think it's useful to know we evolve quite a lot over time. We do as a human race, so we do. There's a grandmother, there's a woman over the other side, a very strong grandmother, leafing about heart. She's showing me what look like gorgeous silver sparkly shoes. Somebody's got a really lovely shoe collection, and your grandmother loves to look at that. I feel that if there was, I believe very much in past lives, but it depends on the individual, doesn't it? All right, so whether your beliefs lie there or not, I feel that I want to go back to 1940s, 1930s, that kind of thing where you're concerned, and not to be surprised if you've got quite an old-fashioned, stable way of looking at things, an old-fashioned blueprint that's operating in there, that I want to make food from scratch, right? Really get rid of the toxins and the toxic substances in life, mentally and physically and emotionally as well, to eliminate the person that is doing this for you. Relationships are about moving forward, sweetheart, about evolving together, all right? And I feel that very shortly there's going to be some questions asked in the relationship that you may not know the answers to for just now. Okie dokie, so how are we doing down here? Are we liking and sharing? Bye, Puja. Happy, I hope praying goes okay. I was going to say happy praying because it's not. Please add me to your list. All right, Radk420, thank you so much. They're from YouTube, which is great. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and send me a couple of messages, on this live feed later on. So LadK420, not really sure if that's, what your real name is and what have you, but we have a couple of cards here for you. We have between Taurus and Virgo, basically, you'll feel that you're having to move a certain segment of your life. I feel work-related. I feel that I want to get things health-wise sorted in myself, but I feel like I need that extra motivation in order to kind of go this extra next stage, if you want. I feel that some sort of creativity is trying to get out of you and take the form of an interesting opportunity and proposition, I want to say, all right? Try not to believe everything you hear or feel or are heard when it comes to a complicated situation in love. Okay, so I hope you got that. Eileen, you're very, very good. Eileen, I always get Eileen and Aileen mixed up. I don't know. Ruth Townsend, you're sharing like a mofo. Ruth, thank you very much for coming on here. All right, let's pick a couple of cards for you. All right, let's pick a couple of cards, Ruth. Okay, so do you feel like you've got an urge to clear out like the drawers and stuff and maybe do a little bit of painting and decorating, which is probably the last thing on your mind, because it says that once you get the home situation sorted, which is a house move here, right, and you'll start to get an inkling about this, the air sign after Aquarius, which is Gemini, the end of May, June, all right? End of May, June. And I feel that until then, we're kind of like in a waiting room. We're on pause a little bit. But rather than feel that you're going to work your way through all the magazine collection in the waiting room, which are always out of date anyway, and you end up reading, if you're there long enough, you read the same articles of the 2 years ago version that you do to today. But it says here, just to do the space holding, get up, start packing, clear stuff out, right? Get some physical energy in there, keep moving, all right? There's a woman that's just come to step through from the spirit, who's a mum vibration that says it's more to do, there's a difference between lonely and alone, all right? Lonely and alone. There is a difference. And where you're concerned, right, there's the being alone doesn't necessarily mean that you don't get affected by stuff. Quite the opposite. You're in that dark space on your own. All right, I'm just putting that one up here. So I imagine everybody would be, you are bang on apart from sparkly shoes. No idea who has a pair of sparkly shoes. I'll have to ask around. Yes, please do that. She was quite adamant about it, I've got to say. Sparkly shoes. Okay. Right, so where are we going here? Ruth, like I was saying before, mum over the other side is encouraging this, but she's also encouraging you to move more physically, all right? I feel like there's a routine with watching TV, and this woman over the other side, did she like doing bingo by any chance? Because I feel like I want to put a flutter on something. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that. Lovely, Ruth. I'm glad you got a message. Ah, right. Yeah, that's good. Thank you so much. Found you, Brandy Hoskins. You found me on YouTube. Yes, you did. Brad, I'm going to pick a couple of cards here for you. It's been ages since I've heard from you. How is your situation? It looks like it's been a little bit hard work. Not that I can remember the situation, but a little bit of hard work there. Right, it's about balance. It's about making sure things are balanced round about you. And here it says to cut off the debris to start afresh, okay? Try not to let emotions get involved, right? Try not to let thoughts and dark thoughts come up, because every time we even try and do something for a solution, we always get that voice, don't we, in our head going, is this the one that we need to do? Or should we be doing that and that and that? Right, Deborah White says, I'm freezing. Sorry if I'm freezing, guys. I think it's probably a lot to do with he's gaming at the moment. So I think it affects the internet, which is there. So getting back to you, Brat, there, it's about making some tough decisions. You've got to look after you, financially look after you, and work your way towards a better place in life. I feel that good news from a legal aspect will stand you in good steading where the working situation is concerned. All right. So it's about cutting off the old in order for the new. You're very, very welcome, Norma. Okay, Brat. Oh, overly emotional right now. Yeah, you will, Brat. It's very like the moon, I think, because the full moon, right? The tide comes in and out depending on whether the moon is full or if it's new moon or whatever. It has a cycle, right? And our body's a large proportion of water. Our brain is a large portion of water. So when this moon is out, it's like a magnetic pull, isn't it? It kind of magnetizes the fluid up to the brain, doesn't it? And it magnetizes all the thought processes, all the emotions that goes on in there. All right, Sharon, I'm going to pick a couple of cards for you. Okay, Sharon Stewart. Everybody thinks that. There we go, Sharon. There we go, sweetheart. Now, I feel like I want to polish up some skill sets, some serious skill sets in you, Sharon. I feel like I want to give you a set of cards and I want to say, read them. Okay, you're very empathic, very intuitive, and I feel maybe you've put your toe in it from time to time, but it's like you're just cruising along. And I feel that now's the time to step up the ante, sweetheart, to step up to that place that I know that you're destined to be. So we've got out with the old and with the new, right? And sometimes it's needed. Shock people, cut off that old part of you and start again, right? We all get a chance to reinvent ourselves, don't we? We all get a chance to reposition ourselves, to cast off that old skin like a snake, right? And to step into a new chapter in life, all right? Because that frees us up. I mean, after all, if you've got a drawer full of clothes, all your drawers are full of clothes, how on earth are we going to be able to get new clothes into a drawer that's already stuffed with your old crap? All right, so we have to do that up here as well, Sharon. All right, now over there side, I've got a young guy that's passed over tragically. I've got younger energy, and I do feel, I don't know what I want to get the leather jacket on. I want to jump on the back of a motorbike. That's what I want to do. I want to feel the wind in my hair, and I don't want to even put a helmet on. So there's such a freedom of spirit with this guy. He's over there with quite a posse, quite a congregation, can I tell you? right? He is over there with his posse. Seems quite happy, quite at home. I can feel him quite gruff in his throat, as if he's on about choking. He feels like he'd been choking. And although he very much has recovered, he's got his old personality, sense of humour back, more importantly. All right, so I have to send his love to you, Sharon, which is it's a bit like from one love to another. Okay, well, guys, I am going to pop off now. I'm sorry I tried to get Judy Heather I'm related to bikers. Are you, Judy? That's incredible. Right, guys, well, I'm encouraging you to come back on later on, right? I'll probably be doing the Spirit Watch, say about 8:30ish, 9ish, round about there. Right, I'll put a wee notice up before I do it. So you need to get a cup of tea, get the cuddlies, the PJs on, get the dressing gown on, right, get the lights switched out, all right? And we'll get the candles all placed in here and we'll get to see exactly what is going down. What is going down, right? In the dark when we're not aware of it, because in that dark where I start to see other things, so they do, you know, it's a different type of vision, isn't it? So thank you so much for being here, guys. Loved every second of it. See you tonight on the other side, in the dark side, and I look forward to being all there. After all, I've got to have somebody to talk to, haven't I? Lots of love for just now. Bye-bye for just now.